Stop scrolling, because the next coin you ignore could be worth thousands of dollars. Welcome to Airy Coins News, the home of rare discoveries, hidden treasures, legendary Washington quarters, silver transition mysteries, breathtaking mint errors, and the untold stories behind America's most valuable coins. Every coin has a secret, every date hides history, and every episode could change the way you look at your pocket change forever. So subscribe now, turn on the notification bell, and let's uncover the world's rarest and most valuable coins, only on Airy Coins News. Coin number 1. The 1965 Washington quarter is one of the most fascinating coins in American history because it was struck during a dramatic metal transition that changed U.S. coinage forever. Until 1964, every regular Washington quarter contained 90% silver, but in 1965 the United States mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition after a nationwide silver shortage. Millions of Americans began hoarding silver coins, believing they would become valuable, forcing the government to create a new quarter that looked almost identical but contained no silver. This single decision marked the end of an era that had lasted for more than 170 years. One of the biggest surprises about the 1965 quarter is that it does not carry a mint mark, even if it was produced in Denver or Philadelphia. The U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks from all coins struck between 1965 and 1967 to discourage collectors from saving newly minted coins. Officials hoped people would spend the coins instead of hoarding them. Because of this unusual policy, collectors today cannot identify where an ordinary 1965 quarter was struck simply by looking at it. Although the standard 1965 quarter contains no silver, a few extraordinary error coins accidentally ended up being struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964. These rare transitional errors weigh about 6.25 grams, while a normal clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. Only a handful are known, making them among the most famous Washington quarter errors ever discovered. Some authenticated examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, shocking collectors who once thought they were just ordinary pocket change. Many people call the reverse design the eagle quarter because it proudly displays a powerful bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows above olive branches. This design symbolized America's strength and desire for peace. The inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $quarter surround the eagle, making the reverse one of the most recognizable coin designs in U.S. history before it was replaced by the state quarters program in 1999. Another little-known fact is that more than 1.8 billion Washington quarters were struck in 1965, making it one of the highest mintage quarters in American history. Yet despite this enormous production, collectors still search through rolls of 1,965 quarters because of the possibility of discovering rare mint errors, double dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, or the legendary silver transitional error. Even after decades, these coins continue to surprise collectors. The phrase "In God We Trust" appears on the obverse beneath George Washington's portrait, while Liberty arches across the top, and the date 1965 sits below. The reverse features the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. Together, these inscriptions reflect America's values of unity, freedom, and faith, making the coin more than just currency. It is a historical symbol carried in millions of pockets every day. Because 1965 was the very first year of clad coinage, many experts consider it the beginning of the modern U.S. coin era. Collectors often refer to it as the silver transition year, when America moved away from precious metal circulation coins due to rising silver prices. This historic change affected not only quarters but also dimes and half dollars, forever transforming the appearance and composition of everyday American money. Perhaps the most astonishing fact is that an ordinary-looking 1965 quarter can still hide an incredible secret. If a collector discovers one struck on a silver planchet with a major mint error or preserved in exceptional uncirculated condition, its value can jump from just 25 cents to thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. That possibility is exactly why millions of collectors still inspect every 1965 Washington quarter they find, hoping that one forgotten coin could become the discovery of a lifetime. Coin number 2. Imagine holding a coin that was born during one of the biggest financial experiments in American history. The 1966 Washington quarter is not just another 25-cent coin. It represents a turning point when the United States was adapting to a new economic reality. After silver disappeared from circulating quarters in 1965, the 1966 issue became the first full-year continuation of the new copper-nickel-clad era. Every 1966 quarter tells the story of a nation racing to keep enough coins in circulation while protecting its precious silver reserves. One of the most unbelievable facts about the 1966 quarter is that collectors cannot tell where it was minted. Between 1965 and 1967, the U.S. Mint removed all mint marks from quarters, dimes, and nickels. This unusual decision was made because officials believed collectors were causing coin shortages by saving coins with certain mint marks. As a result, every regular 1966 quarter looks anonymous, making it one of the most unusual years in the Washington Quarter series. Although the standard 1966 quarter contains no silver, experts still examine these coins carefully because a tiny number were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets intended for 1964 quarters. These rare transitional errors are significantly heavier than normal clad quarters and have become legendary among collectors. A genuine silver transition 1966 quarter is one of the rarest mint mistakes in modern U.S. coinage and can command astonishing prices at auction. The reverse design featuring the majestic bald eagle carries a hidden message that many people overlook. The eagle firmly grips arrows in its talons, symbolizing military strength, while olive branches beneath represent peace. Above the eagle appears e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. Together, these elements transform the quarter into a miniature national emblem that millions of Americans carried in their pockets every day. Another remarkable fact is that the United States Mint produced more than 821 million Washington quarters in 1966 to overcome the nationwide coin shortage. Instead of making the coin rare, this enormous production ensured that nearly every American handled one. Ironically, because so many circulated heavily, finding a sharply struck, high-grade, uncirculated 1966 quarter today is far more challenging than many people expect. The front of the coin proudly displays George Washington with liberty above his head and "In God We Trust" to the left. Yet what many collectors don't realize is that the 1966 quarter was struck using improved dies and high-speed presses designed specifically for the new clad composition. This engineering change allowed the mint to produce coins faster than ever before while reducing production costs during a period of growing demand. Among collectors, the most exciting discoveries on 1966 quarters are not ordinary examples, but dramatic mint errors. Double strikes, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, broad strikes, and missing clad layer errors have all been found. These mistakes transform an everyday quarter into a unique collectible, proving that even one of the most common U.S. coins can hide an extraordinary story worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The 1966 Washington quarter also represents the second chapter of America's transition away from circulating silver coins. Many Americans initially distrusted the new copper-nickel quarters because they lacked the distinctive silver ring and bright appearance of earlier issues. Yet over time, these clad coins became the new standard, making the 1966 quarter an important symbol of America's economic modernization and changing monetary system. Perhaps the most exciting truth is that an ordinary-looking 1966 quarter could still surprise the world. If it turns out to be a rare silver transitional strike, a spectacular mint error, or a flawless mint state survivor with exceptional eye appeal, its value can soar from just 25 cents to thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. That incredible possibility is why experienced collectors still inspect every 1966 Washington Eagle quarter they find, hoping that history is hiding in plain sight. Coin number 3. What if an ordinary-looking quarter was actually a silent witness to one of America's greatest economic transformations? The 1968 Washington quarter is far more than a 25-cent coin. It was minted at a time when the United States had fully embraced copper-nickel-clad coinage after the historic silver transition. While millions of people spent these coins without a second thought, the 1968 quarter quietly became a symbol of America's changing economy, modern minting technology, and the end of the silver era that had defined U.S. coinage for generations. The year 1968 marked the exciting return of mint marks after a 3-year absence. From 1965 through 1967, the U.S. Mint deliberately removed mint marks to discourage collectors from hoarding coins during a nationwide shortage. In 1968, however, mint marks returned and were moved to the obverse, just below the date beside George Washington's portrait. This small design change created a completely new identification system and marked the beginning of a modern chapter in American coin collecting. One of the most surprising facts about the 1968 quarter is that although it was officially made without silver, experts still inspect every example because of the possibility of extremely rare minting mistakes. A few quarters from this era have been discovered struck on the wrong metal planchets or with missing clad layers, making them dramatically different in appearance and weight. These accidental errors prove that even during high-speed modern production, remarkable mistakes could still escape the mint and enter everyday circulation. Turn the coin over, and you'll see one of America's most iconic national symbols, the powerful bald eagle. With wings spread proudly, arrows clutched in its talons, and olive branches below, the eagle represents both military strength and the nation's commitment to peace. Above it appears E pluribus unum, the historic Latin motto meaning, out of many one. This reverse design remained a familiar sight in American pockets until the State Quarters program transformed the series decades later. Another fascinating detail is that the 1968 quarter was produced using increasingly advanced minting equipment capable of striking thousands of coins every hour with remarkable precision. These technological improvements allowed the U.S. Mint to meet growing demand while maintaining consistent quality. Yet even with better machinery, certain dies develop cracks, chips, and doubling over time, creating collectible varieties that today attract serious attention from error coin enthusiasts around the world. The obverse proudly displays Liberty, In God We Trust, and the portrait of George Washington, but many collectors overlook how the new clad composition changed the coin's behavior. Unlike older silver quarters, the copper-nickel version produced a different sound when dropped, resisted wear in a different way, and revealed a visible copper-colored edge. This distinctive layered edge instantly separates the modern clad quarter from its silver predecessors and symbolizes one of the biggest changes in U.S. monetary history. Among collectors, the most exciting 1968 quarters are those with spectacular mint errors. Coins showing double dies, dramatic off-center strikes, clip planchets, broad strikes, die breaks, or missing clad layers have all been authenticated. These unusual pieces are extremely scarce because they escape multiple quality control inspections before entering circulation. What began as a manufacturing mistake has become a treasured collectible capable of selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its rarity and condition. Many people never realize that preserving a 1968 quarter in flawless mint state condition is much more difficult than simply finding one. Since most examples entered circulation immediately, they picked up scratches, bag marks, and everyday wear. Coins displaying exceptional luster, razor-sharp details, and nearly perfect surfaces are genuinely scarce today. High-grade certified examples continue to set impressive auction records because collectors compete fiercely for the finest known survivors. Perhaps the greatest mystery surrounding the 1968 Washington Eagle quarter is that its true value cannot always be judged by appearance alone. Two coins may look almost identical, yet one could be worth only face value while another, because of a rare error, an exceptional mint state grade, or an unusual striking variety, could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. That hidden possibility keeps collectors searching through old coin jars, bankrolls, and inherited collections, proving that history's greatest treasures sometimes hide in the smallest pieces of everyday change. Coin number 4. What if a single quarter could tell the story of America's hidden technological revolution? At first glance, the 1993 D. Washington quarter looks like an ordinary 25-cent coin, but it represents an era when the United States Mint had perfected modern coin production. By 1993, every quarter was being struck with remarkable precision, yet tiny differences in dies, striking pressure, and metal flow created collectible varieties that continue to fascinate experts today. This coin is a reminder that even in an age of advanced machinery, perfection was never guaranteed. The D Mint mark beneath the date identifies this coin as a product of the Denver Mint, one of the busiest coin-producing facilities in the world. During 1993, the Denver Mint struck more than 645 million Washington quarters, making it one of the year's highest production facilities. Yet despite this enormous number, collectors know that not all 1993 D quarters are equal. Some were struck with exceptional detail and brilliant luster, while others display fascinating die varieties that make them far more desirable than ordinary circulation pieces. One of the least known facts is that the 1993 D quarter belongs to the final years of the classic Washington Eagle design, which had remained largely unchanged since 1932. Only 6 years later, the familiar eagle would disappear from regular circulation and be replaced by the famous state quarter series. Because of this, the 1993 D issue is often viewed as one of the last representatives of an American design that served the nation faithfully for nearly 7 decades. Most people never notice the coin's edge, but it hides one of its biggest clues. Unlike pre-1965 silver quarters, the 1993 D quarter has a visible copper-colored core sandwiched between 2 nickel layers. This layered construction was developed after the historic silver transition to reduce costs while maintaining durability. That thin copper stripe instantly reveals that the coin belongs to the modern-clad era, separating it from its valuable silver predecessors. Collectors are especially fascinated by die deterioration and double die varieties found on certain 1993 D quarters. As mint dies aged under tremendous striking pressure, tiny distortions appeared in letters, numbers, and Washington's portrait. While many are minor, a few dramatic examples have become highly collectible because they demonstrate how millions of strikes slowly wore down the steel dies responsible for producing America's everyday money. The reverse of the coin carries one of America's strongest national symbols, a proud bald eagle with wings fully extended. The eagle clutches arrows, representing national defense, while olive branches beneath symbolize peace and diplomacy. Above the bird appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. Together with United States of America and quarter dollar, the reverse celebrates the unity and strength of the nation in a design admired by generations. Although billions of clad quarters entered circulation, error hunters continue searching 1993 D quarters because remarkable mistakes still occurred. Coins have been discovered with off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, cut errors, and even missing clad layers. These manufacturing accidents escaped quality control and became instant rarities. Today, exceptional error examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the severity and rarity of the mistake. Many people assume old coins automatically become valuable, but the real treasure often lies in condition rather than age. A worn 1993 D quarter may only be worth face value, while a flawless mint state example with blazing original luster, sharp details, and virtually no contact marks can command impressive premiums. Professional grading has transformed these top-condition coins into serious investments sought by advanced collectors around the world. Another fascinating detail is that the 1993 D quarter was produced during an era when vending machines, parking meters, and automated payment systems were becoming increasingly common across America. The quarter's exact weight, diameter, and electromagnetic properties were engineered to ensure reliable performance in these machines. This made the coin not only a piece of currency, but also a product of modern engineering designed for an increasingly automated society. The inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust on the obverse, together with Washington's timeless portrait, connect the coin to decades of American history. While technology, politics, and the economy changed dramatically over the years, these familiar words remained unchanged, preserving a sense of continuity that linked modern Americans with generations who had carried Washington quarters since the Great Depression. Perhaps the most exciting discoveries involving the 1993 D quarter come from certified error coins and extraordinary mint state survivors. Some pieces have achieved elite grades from professional grading services, placing them among the finest known examples. When combined with rare mint errors or unusual die varieties, these coins have achieved auction prices far beyond what most people would ever imagine for a simple 25-cent piece. The greatest mystery of the 1993 D Washington Eagle quarter is that its true value often remains hidden until an expert examines it closely. Two identical-looking quarters may sit side by side, yet one could be worth only 25 cents, while the other, because of an extraordinary grade, a rare die variety, or spectacular mint error, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That possibility keeps collectors searching through pocket change, old jars, and forgotten collections every day, proving that sometimes history's greatest surprises are hiding in the smallest coins.